Hello there, and a good day to Doctor and my fellow friends. For today, we are from Group 47 to present Assignment 1 for Semester 2, 2021 and 2022. Our group number is 47, and our group consists of three members, which includes Jason Leong Sheng Jun with a matrix ID of 158891, Wong Wen Yi with a matrix ID of 159490, and myself, Vetri Son of Yogan, with a matrix ID of 158648. For this assignment, we are required to answer the question and develop a C++ program using object-oriented programming. Hence, what is the purpose and what did our program manage to curb with the use of C++ and object-oriented programming itself? We are able to calculate the new CGPA of students based on previous CGPA and current semesters of GPA. The program will also be identify students and their details, which includes name, metric ID, course, accommodation fee, tuition fee, current GPA, current CGPA, and the total fee through a text file. To be taken note, it will be done through a text file. Also, we'll be displaying all those data onto our IDE itself. Hence, I would like to share the text file that we are going to be using. This is the sample text file, which includes as follows: the name, matrix ID, course, fees, and CGPAs, also GPAs. In our program, we will be using object-oriented programming, which includes traits like inheritance, friend function, classes, constructors, destructors, composition, multiple file inclusion, reading text from a file, arrays, and operator overloading. These are all also part of the requirement question for our assignment itself. Hence, we are able to execute this program for calculation and display purposes. Without further ado, let me call upon my friend Wong Wen Yi to present his part.
Okay, Sam sejahtera total. I am Bong Wendy. So now let me explain about the inheritance. So first, our group is set the student fee is inherited from the class student. So it means that student fee is derived class for class student and class student is a base class. So it means that student fee can access all the things in the class student except private variable. So let me explain about class student. In the class student, we have private variable, which is string ID, string cost, and string names. For the public, we have default constructor, overload constructor, destructor, mutator, accessor, and print function. Let me show you our CPP file. This is the student CPP file. First, we initialize all the variable to a blank. So for the overload constructor, we assign the value that pass by this parameter to our variable. Okay. Then for the destructor, we all set to blank. Now for our set name function is a mutator. So we also assign name with the parameter string n. And for the set ID, it also sent as the function last one. So it means that we set the ID with the parameter string I, and set cost is also same thing. But the get ID is the accessor, so we return the ID and also same with the get cost, get name. And important thing is our print function. Print function can print the information. Now let us see the student fee header file. in our student fee header file, we have private, this is accommodation fee and tuition fee. While for the public, we have constructor, overloader, destructor, mutator, ancestor, and also print function. Now let us see the student fee CPP file. Now, if sent as the student CPP file, we also initialize the accommodation fee and tuition fee to 0. And also we create a overload constructor so that it can assign a value from parameter to accommodation fee, tuition fee, and also the overload constructor in a class student. And this is destructor. This is our mutator, which is the set function. Our set function can also set the value from the parameter to accommodation fee, tuition fee, and also the value in the class student. Now we have a mutator also. This set accommodation fee. We can set accommodation fee with the parameter double A. We can set the tuition fee with parameter double T. We also have a ancestor, which is the function, which is a get function. We can return accommodation fee, we can return tuition fee, and also we can print the information. Another thing I want to mention is this is the this print function is in the class student. So because I say early, student fee can access the function in the class student. So we can just use the function in the class student. So we can also print this three thing in the class student fee. Now I want to pass to my friend Jason Leong Seng Jun.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Wen Yi. For this part of the program, we have the student CGPA class, and which is it uses composition, so it has access to student fee, which is the inheritance of student. So it has access to all files, and then later on it will be transferred to main. For the student CGPA class, for the header file, we have for the private, we have double CGPA and GPA, which we will calculate the new GPA, and then student fee, composition of class student fee. So for the public, we have our constructor, student GPA, CGPA, and our overloader constructor, and as well as the destructor. So for the mutator, we have for the void set all, and then set CGPA and set GPA, and also for the function, we display what is in the class. And for the x-axis, we have accommodation fee and tuition fee, which we will calculate the total fee which the student must pay, and to get the GPA and to get the CGPA also. And after that, we will get the new CGPA and we will print it out also. So we also have friend function, which is the amount of fee, and we also have operator overloading, which we will use to calculate the student CGPA. Let's take a look on the CPP file. So for the first one, we calculate the total student fee, which we use a friend function. So we initialize double, and we get the accommodation fee and the tuition fee, and we calculate and we return it for the total amount that the student need to pay. For the constructor, we initialize the values first, or for the GPA and CGPA. Then for the overloaded constructor, we have the CGPA and the GPA, which we will calculate, and for the fee, which we will bring it down and bring it down to a new function. And then we also have the destructor to count the CGPA. So for the next one, we have mutator. So for this mutator, we set the function in from the student fee class. So we get it from the student fee, and then we the other mutator, which is the CGPA. So we set the new CGPA and the new GPA, and then we have the accommodation fee. So we get the accommodation fee and the tuition fee, and then we return it, and as well as the CGPA and the GPA. And then after that, we calculate the new CGPA. We also return it, and to display it all, we use the void function. So for this student GPA, we use operator overloading to calculate the GPA, the new GPA, and then we return it, and we return it to the main function. So for the main function, I would like to bring my friend Vetri to share it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jason. So let's go to our main file itself. So if we realize we are actually using multiple file inclusion, that's why it's going one by one. So let's have a look at our main file itself. Okay, so as usual, we include all the headers, and we also have to include the header of student cgpa.h, which is a header of another file. Next, as usual, fstream, because we are going to be reading from the file. Okay, so before going into the integer main, which is the main function itself, there are three different functions that we have actually declared. First and foremost, the read file, okay, into, as the question says, a linear array. So we'll be using that through a for loop. We'll be including names, metrics, course name, tuition fees, accommodation, GPA, CGPAs, and so on. Hence, this myfile.ignore is also used to clear the buffer. So when everything is being done and put into an array, it's time to display, right? So we shall display the new CGPA for that particular student, which is the sole purpose of our program itself, which I have actually explained in the beginning or the intro of this video. That is the sole purpose of our video, to calculate the new CGPA for the students using the previous GPAs and this current semester's GPAs. Next, the main function itself. So we read the file assignment1.txt. So one thing to be curious about is the word of the file. So the file name and the file itself, where we write it in the main function, should be the same. If it's not the same, it wouldn't run. Next, we will run out all the arrays so that we can actually calculate the amount of fee. If you guys realize, in our program, before we actually display the CGPA itself, the new GPA, we actually calculate the amount of fee through the data which is collected via the arrays. Next, we will enter to see the next part. Because we are using multiple file inclusion, we have included this function so that you can click on the enter button so that it shows the new CGPA of each student. And finally, we clear the system to flush out IOStream and also clear the screen, and we return back to 0. Now let me just demonstrate how our program actually works. Okay, as we can see from this txt file, we have actually read every single thing into this information. Everything is sorted out clearly through the txt file. The data has been taken in. We are displaying the name, ID, course, accommodation fee, tuition fee, current CGPA, current GPA, and the calculation of the amount fee which was in the main function. And let's press enter for the next part. For the next part, we will be looking at the new CGPA of each and every student. And the names of the student has been taken from the text file. The calculation is being done and displayed in the IDE itself. So that's all from us from Group 47. Thank you very much.